In this video, you're invited to watch how I use some new to me thrifted items, fresh colors, new patterns, and a few DIYs in order to refresh my living room and have it looking like a whole new space. You're gonna really love this video. I think it's going to really inspire you. So make sure that you like the video, hype, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Okay, let's get started. Here's another look at the room before I got started making changes. I knew for sure I wanted to swap out the couch covers and just start with something a little bit more neutral. So we're going to be doing that first and then build on that. My vision is to have more neutrals, greens, and then a lot of warm tones to complement all of the green accents that we're going to be placing around the room. The two love seats that I have are the Upland two-seater sofas from IKEA, and then you can buy many different slip covers for them. You can also find some on Amazon that fit really well. So the ones that I am using right here that you see, these are from IKEA. So I really love these sofas and that they give me the versatility to change out the look of my living room without buying all new furniture.
In the still of the morning, before voices arise, she opens the day with unhurried eyes. There's bread on the counter, light on the floor, and peace like a promise within every chore. No crowd ever sees how the small things are done, but heaven takes note of each faithful one. In the sweeping, the tending, the mending of seams, she's building a life out of unseen things. If his hand is not in all I do, then what I build won't carry through.
If you've been with me for a while, you know that I love my blues and I've had them throughout the house for a few years now, but I'm kind of ready to desaturate some of the blue decor that I have in the living room and try more of the greens and the warm tones. I know it kind of sounds more like fall, which in a way it kind of is, but I just had this vision in my head and I had to see it through. So that's what I'm doing, and then maybe for the 4th of July, I'll probably bring my blues, whites, and reds back out. But this is fun anyway for now, and then I can always transition back to this again in the fall. I've had these geranium plates for a long time now. I got these at the Found Cottage. I do have a video of us shopping on that trip when I found them, and I've been wanting to put them up in my living room. So believe it or not, but these are kind of the catalyst as to why I'm making the changes in my living room that I am now. So let's get these up on the fireplace wall using some plate hooks because I don't even want to take a chance that these might fall because these are the most expensive plates that I have ever purchased.
In the still of the morning, before voices rise, she opens the day with unhurried eyes. There's bread on the counter, light on the floor, and peace like a promise within every chore. No crowd ever sees how the small things are done, but heaven takes note of each faithful one. In the sweeping, the tending, the mending of seams, she's building a life out of unseen things. If his hand is not in all I do, then what I build won't carry through. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord in the quiet work that's never stored. In the folding of days, in the prayers we keep, in the seeds we sow that grow so deep. Let a dwelling of peace that leads toward heaven. There's wisdom found in the patient way. She chooses her words at the close of day, understanding in where she stands with open arms.
So I got these shades for my sconces here, and I absolutely love them. I think they're perfect. The color, I love the pleating. I'll have these linked below for you. But the only thing is they're just a tad bit too big for my sconces here. So as much as I absolutely love that little pop of color and texture and pattern, everything on this wall, it's just not gonna work. So instead I have these, and I just can't leave these sconces bare. I always feel like they need to have something on them. So even though these are just plain, we'll keep these here for now until I can maybe find something different that's going to give me the pattern and the color that I was going for. But let me also show you the other options that I have to use those shades. Yeah, so I could put them on this chandelier here. I would be too short, so I'd have to order a whole nother set of 6, which I don't really want to do. And I also kind of think that they're disappearing next to the beads. They're just not really showing up and making a statement like I wanted them to. So the other place that I could put them is over here. Let me show you. Okay, so here's really the only other place that I could use these shades in this room, which is really the whole reason I bought them, was to use them in here. So let's see what we think of them on these little lamps. I also love these shades. I made these, but I'm trying to not have as much blue in my living room at the moment, just for a change. So let's see if we like how this looks. As promised, it's time to get into a DIY, and we're going to be transforming this fireplace for the 3rd time. I have painted these bricks. I have resurfaced and recovered this fireplace insert a couple different times, and now I'm kind of ready to give it a new look. We're also going to be antiquing the tiles here that are actually just sticker decals, and see if we like that new look that it provides us in the room. Let me know your thoughts down below. Eventually, I would like to just remove this fireplace insert and have something that just is more inset inside of the fireplace, but I'm just not ready to attempt that project right now. So we're just going to make the changes that we can at the moment and see if I'm happier with it. I'm also going to be painting this outside rim. It was once that really gold brassy color, and my thought is maybe I can try and make it look like wood, like a piece of wood trim that's wrapping around this insert. So I'm using a matte brown paint as my base, and then I'm going to go over top of that with some gel stain in an oak and walnut color so that it matches the rest of the wood trim in the room. So stay tuned to see how this effect turns out. I think it looks really good. Okay, so here's my thought. I have a flat paint on the outside rim of the fireplace right now in that brown. And here's some gel stain. I thought that I could try and paint this on to make it look like wood trim, so it kind of matches the fireplace mantle and the rest of the trim in the room. If that doesn't work, I can always just wipe it back and we can just do the rub and buff. But let's try this first because I'm very curious to see. I have 2 different colors here. I have an oak and a dark walnut. If I like the way this looks, I would like to do the same technique on all of our radiator covers around the room.
Hand-stitched quilt on a cedar chest, every thread laid down, every stitch you blessed. In its quiet warmth I can almost hear every whispered prayer that you held near. I don't know their names, but I feel it still. Your faithful hand in the silence and still. It's more than dust and yesterday. It's your love that never fades. You were in the hands that held it first, in every blessing, in every hurt, every crack, every line, every worn down part. You were writing stories on every heart. Now I'm standing in the grace they knew, carried by the ones you carried through. This old life.
This next DIY might be a little controversial, but just hear me out. So I had this vision of just little hints of color on this mirror, and I thought if I just used some chalk paint in a really nice deep green, maybe I could just highlight some spots on this wood framed mirror to just kind of break up some of that really red finish on it and make it almost look like it's got some old paint that's worn off. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of strategically placing little highlights of green here and there. It's very subtle, but my idea is that if I really don't like this and I want to change it, it is just chalk paint, so it should scrub off if I take like a hot soapy sponge and water to it, because it is a very shiny finish on it, so it's not sinking in or anything. I don't think it should just kind of sit on the surface. So I'm always trying to think of safe ways that I can do these alterations, because I do change things so often. But let me know if you can even really tell once we're all done. I think it did tone down a little bit of the red, which was kind of nice, to be honest. So anyway, let's just do this quickly, and don't get too upset about it if you're worried that I ruined the mirror. I promise I don't think I did.
This old life, these sacred stones, you've always been the builder of this home. Old wood dresser, drawer that sticks, holding hymns and worn out scripts. Sunday light through lace curtains falls, like your mercies touched it all. Every piece has a trace of you, and what you made and brought us through. Nothing here is truly gone. You've been here.
So something I thought I wanted to swap out is this really pretty teal color stool and try a couple different options that I have. I'm actually going to put this in my bedroom because now that I have my new curtains in there, this kind of teal robin's egg color is going to pick up beautifully on the colors that are in those curtains. So if you haven't seen that video where I gave my bedroom a makeover, I will go ahead and insert that down in the video description so you can watch it. Or there should be a little card up in the corner of the video that you can also click on, but I'll make sure that you're able to find it if you want to go watch that. So here is stool option number 1. It's got the gorgeous beige colors in it. It's got some brown, a little bit of gold, yellow. So I think this will look really beautiful. And the other option that I was thinking I could try out was this stool. Again, I think that gives us a similar effect that this one does. I even thought this would look really cute next to the couch as like a little side table, so we could also try that. However, I do like to keep the walking paths along the sides of the couches a little more open. So for this console table behind our couch, I wanted to keep it fairly simple, and I thought maybe just a collection of old books in the green color that we want to really saturate the room with. Would look nice. I have a bunch more that I can grab, and we'll put these back here. And that way both sides of this will have a nice look to it. And it'll just kind of help to fill in this table a little bit.
There's a calling in the quiet of a well-kept room, in the sweep of a broom.
Next, let's move on to the shelf above our TV. So up here, I've got some items that you may have just recently saw me thrift from last week's antiquing trip, where I took you to Marshall, Michigan, a charming historic town. I got a couple new vintage tiles that I want to try and hang on the wall here, as well as other thrifted items. So basically everything that I'm going to be placing up here as decor has all been thrifted. So watch as I pull this little area together, and again, let me know what you think down in the comments of the changes that I'm making in this space, what you like, maybe what you didn't like, or some suggestions that you may have. I noticed this art had a pretty big blotch in it where the paper was ripped off from a price tag or something. So I'm going to use some chalk paint and just try and blend that in so it's not so noticeable. Okay, so right now I have this bonsai plant in this planter up here, which is cute, but it's not really filling in the space. So I thought maybe I would try just adding in these greenery stems from Hobby Lobby. These are my favorite ones they carry. If I'm going to do an artificial plant, this is pretty much what I'll stick with, is something like this, because it looks extremely realistic and it's just simple. So I thought if we filled this planter with these, that would give it the bulk that it needs and kind of fill in the space. And then we've got the touch of greenery that I wanted to add up here. So yeah, I think that looks really cute. And I don't think you would ever be able to tell that those aren't real greens. So I'm kind of just trying to decide if I want to keep my little shell boxes up here for some texture. My little guy loves to get into my shell boxes, so I have to keep them up and out of his reach. I also have this throw that has yellow in it, and I thought maybe this would be pretty out here. So why don't we see if we can get this on the couch, see how it looks. I wish it was a little bit more of a saturated yellow, because it is reading very white, I think, from a distance. So anyway, let's just get this opened up and place it on the couch and see what we think.
pause where the wildflowers lean, drawn to their color, their quiet between, the hush of their form, the breath of their grace, like something remembered we cannot replace. A garden once stood in the first morning light, untouched by the weight of the world or of time. And still in our bones there's a call to that ground, to tend what is living, to turn it around. We gather the seeds with hope in our hands, but life doesn't rise at our command. We plant and we water, we wait and we see, but growth is a gift we'll never decree. For the hand that formed Eden still moves unseen, breathing his life into all that we keep. Oh, we labor in love, but still we know it's not us, it's him who made.
I think I like it. I think it's giving the wood trim effect that I was going for, so I'm happy with that. Here's how it looks from afar. It matches the wood really good on the fireplace mantle. And then here is how the mirror turned out. It's very subtle. I didn't even do the outside rim, I just did the front. Just a subtle amount of green on there, just to kind of break up the really red wood of this mirror.
It's him who makes it grow. We kneel in the soil, we pull out the weeds, we nurture the smallest, most fragile love.